Good evening. On behalf of Hairomedic Salon and John Paul Mitchell Systems, I would like to thank you for coming to this class today. We're going to go over a few different things. The first one is a look that you can learn quickly, easily, and put into practice tomorrow in your salon. It's the Fernanda cut and the tea tree lemon twist styling technique. The first half of Madison's hair is already done. This is my model, Madison. And in your salon, if there's a technique that you can use that will cut down your styling time and cut down on your haircut time, is that something that would work for you?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Me too. I mean, I'm always looking for something to make me faster and make things easier. So we're going to go over the Fernanda cut, how it's used. I'm going to answer any questions that you have. Please write those down and we'll get back to them. And if you have any questions during the concluding part of the class, by all means, we'll go through those at that point. So with this haircut, the way that we prepared the hair, first off, is I started with tea tree lavender mint moisturizing shampoo. The shampoo uses amino acids to strengthen the hair and is wonderful for providing moisture to hair types that are curly, unruly, dry, chemically treated, and so on. So it was both the tea tree lavender mint shampoo and tea tree lavender mint conditioner that I finished my model's hair with. During the course of this class, you're going to hear how these products work, how much of them to use, how you go about applying them into the hair. You're going to see exactly how this is done as we go through our demonstration. And what I would like you to do as far as your own participation is take video, take photos, and write down any special points that you want to remember so that you can use this right away when you're in the salon tomorrow. So we'll go right away into the Fernanda cut. So we've already done the right-hand side of her cut, and I'm going to go onto the left, and I'll just kind of explain the whole thing as we go. So when you're on the left-hand side of your model, when you've moved onto that side, you can undo this. Like I said, we prepped her hair with the tea tree lavender mint shampoo and conditioner. Madison has chemically treated hair. She has highlights, sort of an ombre, so her hair tends towards dryness, so this is a great fit for her. So I'm going to go in a diagonal back section. I'm going to, at the curve of her head, drop out for length the rest. Now, if your guest has hair that is very much shorter than what Madison has, it will automatically drop out. So when I was on the right-hand side, then I started in the front, and everything was over-directed forward. When I'm on the left-hand side, I'm going to take the same diagonal back section. Let me just make it so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. When I'm on the left-hand side, I'm going to take the same diagonal back section, but I'm going to be standing directly behind Madison. So I do a diagonal back section. I drop out that length because her hair is a little bit on the longer side. I'm going to take a piece from the opposite side to let me know where to begin, and that's my guide. I lift up, fingers towards her scalp, and with my arms straight up towards the ceiling, and I cut that first section diagonally up. Then I go take my second section. The second section over-directs to where the first is. So I'm building length on my way backward. Go ahead and lift your head this way. That's perfect. And so as I go up, then this second section over-directs to the first. I push back a little bit so that I can uncover my guide, and then I'm cutting with my fingers towards her scalp, arms straight out. Then when I take my third section, and always just kind of watch the body position of your model. If there's anything where you feel like it's going to affect the outcome of the haircut, whether their head goes down or whatever, go ahead and adjust that. So then I go straight up with this third section, pointing my elbow towards the ceiling, my fingers towards her scalp, checking my guide, and cutting diagonally up from short to long. That's the third section. So that one over-directed to where the second one was. Now with my fourth section, which is also diagonal back still, that one's going to over-direct to where the third section is. So I just go right to that round of the head, make sure I drop out that length so that I can preserve it, comb this all straight up, fingers towards the scalp, my arm pointed towards the ceiling, making sure that I over direct to where this third section was and just go straight up. Now, since I have the shampoo bowl here, I'm just going to go around to demonstrate this other part. So when I get to the back, I don't do it the same way where I'm over directing. I just pull straight out from the head shape. My fingers still point towards the scalp, and then I just go straight out. So that's how I'm tying in that back. Now, after that point, this is good because you can see exactly what's going on from this angle. After I go all the way back through those diagonal back sections, then I pull out this back section here, and I'm going to see at the top of my fingers where my layers end, and then at the bottom of my fingers I'm going to see where my length ends. And there's a little corner there, and I'm just going to take that corner off. I'm going in horizontal sections headed straight down, and those sections, each one, as I'm combing it, goes back, straight back, just like that center back section did. Now, when Takashi does this haircut, he suggests even over directing even more when you get to the section where you are right at the mastoid process, so that you don't take any hair off of that corner. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to over direct a little bit more on this section just to make sure I don't take off anything that I want to keep. And as you move forward, you're building length. So with this cut, one of the things that I used to remind myself of exactly how it was done was to remember I was building length on the way backward for the first part of the haircut, and I'm building length and weight going forward on the second part of this cut. I hope that will be useful for you to remember. Mm-hmm. Good, good. So you keep on going, coming all the way back, and then you're going to see where those layers end, and then you're going to see where that bottom length is, and you'll see that corner, and you just want to take that right off. Now, once I've gone all the way through, and there's usually on that last section just a couple pieces of hair to take, not much more than that, then I'm going to turn my model around to face me. Now, in this front section, depending on how thick the hair is, you'll go as little as a ½ inch in, as much as an inch in, just depending on whether or not she has thick hair, just to create that fringe. Now, for some people, they just want maybe a fringe that is a little bit on the long side, especially if the cut that you're doing is on hair that's a little bit longer than this. On Kira, her hair is going to go halfway already. It goes almost to like lip length. So we'll do something that is to the bridge of her nose. So I'm going to take a section that goes in about ½ inch. It's sort of like a crescent shaped section. I'm pulling it straight down. I'm pinching those pieces together so that and I'm point cutting. So that what I'm going to get is something that is shorter in the middle and goes longer as it goes out to the outside. Now, her cut has already been done on the right hand side, so I'm just going to show you on the left how I would do that, blending in. So we have her fringe, which we just did, and then we have the final length here. So you'll take this together and hold it so that the back of your hand is pointed up, the hand that you're holding with, and then the back of your scissor hand is pointed down. So you're going to start where that fringe starts and open and close your scissors just slightly, really quick, but your descent going down is really, really slow. So you're just kind of joining up that corner. The way that I remember this when I was first learning it is like that dance, the wobble, where you stand in one place but you move around a lot. So it's kind of like that with your scissors. They're moving a lot, but your descent is really slow. So that's how that part is done. Now, we're going to go into the tea tree products and how this finish that you see already on this side was completed. I'm going to start with my tea tree firm hold gel. And the firm hold gel, even though it is a gel, it doesn't flake whatsoever. You don't have any problems with that. And the tea tree product is one of the only brands that is carbon neutral. Do you know what carbon neutral means? Have you heard that before?
I believe that it's where any footprint made by the actual product itself, or like waste from trash and things like that just from it, or whatever like waste it produces making it, is like equaled out or negated by something positive, correct?
Absolutely. Go ahead and touch that. Any environment or any environmental effect that would have been had by the manufacturer of the product, by distribution, everything like that is undone by the positive contribution that it makes to the environment. So when this product is manufactured and shipped and all of those things, there are enough trees planted by Paul Mitchell in conjunction with the reforestation project that it completely undoes any impact that the brand would have on the environment. So thank you for helping me through my technical difficulties over there. I appreciate it. Speaking of the environment, I don't know, sometimes these computers, I act up a little bit. But anyway, so there are enough trees planted through the Reforest Action Project in cooperation with Paul Mitchell that it is as if the tea tree brand had zero impact on the environment. This is great news for your clients who want to leave as tiny of a carbon footprint as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for many clients, it's also a way to make it so that they kind of check off their good deed for the day.
And is tea tree one of the vegan lines by Paul Mitchell?
It is. Well? It is one of the vegan lines. So that means not only, as we know, all Paul Mitchell, there's no animal testing.
Yeah.
But that means that there's no animal products, no byproducts, anything like that.
Okay.
So what I'm doing with the tea tree firm hold gel is I'm putting it on my hands like a lotion, taking sections that are natural sections, we don't want to see a hard part here, and then just spinning it around my finger and dropping it. Then I'm going to, there's a few things that I'm going to do that will create the finish that you see over on the other side of her head. So I'm going to take my Paul Mitchell Pro Tools Express Ion Dry Plus. I'm going to put on the diffuser. There's a snap-on diffuser that comes with that. I'm going to use my Pro Sticks to lift these twists onto the diffuser. And then as soon as those are dry, and I'll know they're dry because I squeeze them and they're warm, not cold, then I will take my Paul Mitchell shaping cream and use that to kind of scrunch into the hair just to give it a little bit of texture. It gives you texture that's actually better than natural because it stays all day, unlike a natural finish would. And the tea tree shaping cream has fibers in it that help to give you a long-lasting hold. So, you've got a great base with the tea tree firm hold gel, and then the shaping cream just helps you to finish it. The Express Ion Dry Plus features several different things that are pretty incredible and set it apart from other dryers in the industry. First of all, I mentioned the snap-on concentrator and the diffuser. Those are fantastic features so that you don't have to go out and buy anything separately. That works really, really well. And then this dryer features Express Ion Complex, which is a blend of 23 volcanic minerals that impart shine to the hair. They infuse the hair with negative ions, which help dry it faster. This saves you time in the salon. Again, we started, with what's in it for you, and what's in it for you is being able to do more clients in less time and churn out more business in less time. The Express tools are a great way to accomplish that, yeah.
Did you notice any difference in how many clients you can take a week and how much money that you're bringing in because of being able to do this faster?
That's a great question, and yes, I did. I feel like for me, I was stuck with cuts that would take me, half an hour, not to mention drying time. When I learned the Fernanda cut, I got to the point where I could do the haircut in 6 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
So then my drying time is half an hour.
Yeah.
Well, then suddenly, instead of, a cut that takes me over an hour and a half to finish, then I'm out the door in 36 minutes. And even with this finish, with the tea tree lemon twist, I also had a lot of people who were totally fine just walking out the door and leaving. And they're like, no, I'll just finish it on my own. It's fine. And and you know, if you think about who this would appeal to in your own guest list, if you will, a lot of college students love it. So it wouldn't just save me time with the Fernanda cut, but also with the finish itself. And I went from, you know, selling maybe 2 tea tree products a week to selling 6, 7, 8 tea tree products a week. And, you know, how many products you sell is directly related to your client retention. When people buy 0 products, they're about 12% likely to return. When they buy any more than 2, that likelihood of them coming back jumps to 68%. So it helps a lot with retention, and also your clients want to know that you're, you know, up to the minute in everything that's new. So it helps with that also. When I put this on my hands, I'm putting it on like a lotion. Then when I run out, I just kind of hit the backs of my hands. I would suggest having a towel handy so that you can kind of wipe off the excess as soon as you're ready. And then I'm going to grab my Express Ion Dry Plus that I was talking about earlier. There's a few of the features that I haven't gone over. It has an ergonomic handle with buttons that don't protrude from the handle at all. They don't make any clicking noise. It has a cool shot button, 9-foot cord, hanging loop, and then it has a filter that is easy to snap off and remove and clean. So you just push down on it, go like this, the filter comes out and goes back in. So that was one of my favorite features. Instead of just 1 or 2 settings, turn that down. There are 5 heat and 5 speed settings. You have a concentrator that goes on, just snaps right in, or you have what we're going to use today, which is the diffuser. So one of the things that I like when I'm diffusing hair, I like to use the Cool Shot button. This turns blue when the Cool Shot button is on. So that's super helpful. So I go ahead and I pick these pieces up with my Clinical Pro Stick. The less you touch hair when you're diffusing it, the less you're going to see any kind of unwanted frizz or fuzz or anything like that. So I'm going to turn this up just a little bit and go through these sections, and then you can hit your Cool Shot button and it turns blue, which is great because you don't have to wonder whether or not that is working. And then I go through each of these, trying my best not to disturb the twist too much. And I'm going to just wait until they're dry. I squeeze them. If they're wet still, they're not done. If they're cold, they're not done. But if they're warm to the touch, then they're finished. So I just go through and push the cold button every once in a while to make sure that it's not too hot on my client's head. Yes?
I know as like a future professional, our teachers often tell us when diffusing curly hair that you don't want it to be 100% dry, like diffusing it, to only like let it go most of the way and then leave the last like 10-15% like to dry on its own. Do you think that the same rule applies when doing the twist, or would you dry it 100%?
That's a really good question, because it depends on whether or not I'm finishing it all the way. So if I'm going to go through with my Express Ion Unclipped 3-in-1, and I'm going to finish it, then I want to make sure it's all the way dry. And you would want to make sure it's all the way dry too, because if you try to go in with that tool and the hair's still damp, you're going to hear a sizzle, it's not going to work as well, and so on. Yeah. Because the way that the Express Ion Unclipped is meant to work is it disperses hydrogen bonds, and the reason why it has such long-lasting curl is because of that disbursement. It's almost like a combination of steam and curls, so the curls are really long-lasting. It also uses Express Ion Complex, which is the 23 volcanic minerals, far infrared heat to dry the hair from the inside out. When you're talking about the unclipped, the Pro Tools 3-in-1 unclipped, that Express Ion Complex also means that it's curling from the inside out. So the curls are just way longer lasting. They have real staying power and durability without needing something like a hairspray to make that stay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love it that it's 3 tools in one, in that you can have anything from loose waves, natural looking waves, to ringlets, all with one tool. And the fact that it heats up to 410 instead of 450 really saves people from making a mistake with their hair and using too much heat. And really that's not what they want to do. And I loved it, and I felt like it was super easy for me to take off and put on the barrels. I I would just caution your clients that they should wait for it to cool or use a towel. And then also, these Pro Tools come with a 2-year warranty. You just need to make sure that they register their product and the registration paperwork is inside. And it makes it super easy to do that.
If they don't register the tool, is the warranty like then void?
No, the warranty is not void. However, it goes from being a 2-year warranty to a 1-year warranty.
So if you don't register it, you get 1 year, but if you do, then you get 2.
Exactly right.
Okay, perfect.
Exactly right. And one of the things that I really like, because I'm always comparing this tool, that tool, this product, that product, and with the Express Ion Unclipped 3-in-1, it has all 3 barrels are made of ceramic. So ceramic's unique because it conducts heat evenly, so there are no hot or cold spots.
Oh, okay.
Which is huge when it comes to performance of a tool. So the next thing that I'm going to use on my model's hair is tea tree shaping cream. This shaping cream has fibers in it that give you a soft, pliable hold. They give it a soft shine that doesn't feel waxy or matte, but it's just going to give it a better kind of loose, lived-in kind of a look. So once her hair is already dry, once these twists are already dry, that's when I'm going to go in and just kind of gently squeeze her hair. Some people like to go in and loosen this up on the top. I generally just ask each person and see what they would prefer. Oftentimes they're trying to save time, or they want to learn how to do it the way they're going to do it at home, which means they're not going to really style it very much. However, if they're in the salon and you want to move forward with a little bit more of an interesting finish, I really like to pick up my unclipped. I set my temperature wherever I want it to be, and then I don't need to curl everything, but with the Pro Tools Ion Unclipped 3-in-1, I can just set it to whatever temperature I want to. It has a digital display. There's a swivel cord, so it doesn't matter how many times you spin it, nothing's going to happen. It doesn't get caught or anything like that. But you're going to take up pieces, wrap them around. It's just a wrap and release technique. Wrap, release. So you'll get a little bit of a different texture depending on where you are choosing to place these pieces. So it's a great way to show off the shape of this Fernanda haircut that we've just created. And it's a great way to introduce your clients to Pro Tools and show them why they would be a great choice in their homes. Or, and so many times we don't realize it, but they really are following our lead. So anyway, this is the final look. I want to review everything that we talked about today. I said I was going to answer who it's good for. And how we do it. So we've gone through how we do the Fernanda haircut. Who it's good for is anyone who, whether they have curly or straight hair, fine or thick, as long as it's long enough to do those twists, their hair's perfect. And when we were talking about it, who did you say that it was good for your own clients?
People with longer, not super thick hair. I find not really the density, but more the coarseness of the actual hair will make a difference. Definitely. More than anything.
Definitely. So yeah, just by way of recap, we used all tea tree products on my model Madison, and we used the tea tree lavender mint moisturizing shampoo, moisturizing conditioner. They use amino acids to strengthen, and the extracts of lavender really are calming as well. That's why they're really popular, and they are a carbon neutral product line. And then after her hair was done into the twist with the tea tree firm hold gel, then we went ahead and diffused using a combination of the Pro Sticks and the Express Ion Dry Plus with the snap-on diffuser. And after that was finished, I took my tea tree shaping cream and just squeeze that through the hair to run through the Fernanda cut really quickly. I just want to make sure that this is super clear and I explain it so that you can go and do this tomorrow in your salon or school. So when we start on the right hand side, I'm going to be in front of my model. I'm going to take a section that drops out if I'm trying to save length right at the curve of the head. I'm going in a diagonal back section, standing in front of my model, going straight up, fingers towards the scalp, arms straight up towards the ceiling, and cutting at that diagonal line. from that point, it's always a diagonal section back. So it's diagonal, 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 4 sections back. Each one over directs to the one before it. So the second section over directs to the first, the third to the second, the fourth to the third, and so on. And then, like we discussed, I changed my body position so that I'm standing behind my model once I get to that center section. And that's when I'm going straight out from the head and going from where those layers go end, just straight out to connect that back section. Then I'm standing behind my model on the left-hand side, doing diagonal back sections. I'm going to turn her so that you can see, doing diagonal back sections as I stand here, and then always just over-directing each one to the previous. So second to the first, third to the second, and so on, and the same way with the back. After that point, what we did is I pulled it through using horizontal sections straight out. I could see at the top of my fingers where the layers ended, the bottom of my fingers where the length was, and then I took off that corner, pulling everything straight back, working in horizontal sections all the way forward on the right and all the way forward on the left. Our next step after that was going into this front fringe area, going in about 1/2 inch to 1 inch, depending on how thick my guest's hair is. For Kira, we went about 1/2 inch in. That's where we took that crescent shaped section, pinched the hair close together, and then right around the bridge of her nose is where I point cut. That's to create a little bit of an arc where it's shorter in the middle, longer as it goes out, and that's what that pinching does. Then when I'm on her left-hand side, I take that fringe area and then this fringe right in the side, just connect that together using a very fast movement with my scissor, but a very slow descent. And then again on the right-hand side, except it's opposite. This time we're going palm to palm and joining her fringe to this area right in the front that just connects that together. Also, just a point that I want to repeat, when you are taking your horizontal sections here and you get right by the mastoid process in that corner, I over-directed, Takashi taught it that way, and I really have found it to be valuable. I over-directed just so I didn't take that corner off. Finally, we used the Tea Tree products for this finish, the Tea Tree Firm Hold Gel, used the twist, the Express Ion Pro Tools, and that is how we achieve this beautiful end result. So I said that there were a few questions I was going to answer, the last of which is, how do you get the word out when you learn this technique? So what I want to do is go over to the reservations desk. Let's choose a couple of clients from our books for this coming week, and that we're going to do the Fernanda haircut or the Tea Tree Lemon Twist technique on, and then we'll make a little note so that you can go on Instagram and then you hashtag Tea Tree Hair Care, and you can put your student number, the number to your school, tell them how to make an appointment with you, introduce yourself, and you will find yourself in great company. There's lots of Paul Mitchell stylists and future professionals that are using that handle to demonstrate their mastery of these looks that we've just learned today. So on behalf of John Paul Mitchell Systems and Paramedic Salon, I want to thank you so much for coming in today. I really appreciate the investment that you have made in yourselves and in your career. And something I want to share with you that has everything to do with the Tea Tree brand that we learned about today. It's an old Chinese proverb, and it goes, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Thank you so much.